So here's an action figure that I've been looking forward to reviewing for a long time. He's been sitting here at the spotlight at a reviewing station awaiting his opportunity to be in the spotlight for a good month now. I've been very busy lately. I also became deadly ill around the holidays. I had to be rushed to the hospital and I forgot all about this figure. Regardless though, now that I'm feeling at it, let's go ahead and take care of this once and for all. This is the Spotlight review of the Transformers Studio Series number 23, Deluxe KSI Sentry. Taking a look at the packaging, as partake of every single video review on this channel. Here's a nice picture of the KSI drone himself. Number 23, Studio Series Decepticon logo, KSI Sentry. Trademark. Transformers Age of Extinction, Ages 18 Plus, Hasbro's logo. Transformers going up to the Misaligned Generations logo at the top right corner. Yes. And right beside the Misaligned Generations logo, we have the Takara Tomy logo. Above all that, we got Transformers Age of Extinction and a nice open window packaging here to put some light on the figure. I also noticed we also have some dust here. See? I wasn't lying when I said this has been sitting here for a solid month. On the side of the packaging, we have the Autobot logo sticking out. You know, obviously because why not? For a Decepticon, why not? Why not? We also have that nice artwork of the KSI Sentry drone. Down below all that, we have the authentic Transformer stamp, which to remind you, if it doesn't say authentic, it's a knockoff. So here we have Studio Series number 23, KSI Sentry drone, Deluxe class action figure in case you forgot. To the back of the packaging, and here we got some full-on details about the action figure within the package. Big screen inspired scale, detail, and backdrop. Decepticon logo, Transformers Age of Extinction, KSI Sentry. The Hong Kong Pursuit is the backdrop that comes with this figure. See? Wasn't fooling there. This makes what, our third one now? Hijacked by the Decepticons, the KSI Sentry combat drone flood the city in pursuit of the seed. KSI Sentry drone can transform from vehicle mode to robot mode, from robot mode to vehicle mode in 19 steps. Other figures available with this line is Bumblebee from Bumblebee, Shadow Raider, and Dropkick. And down below all that, all we have is basically your licensing and other product information and da-da-da-da-da. And in case anybody wanted to see what's at the bottom, here you go. Good morning, Vietnam. Alright, so that's going to do it for the packaging. Let's go ahead and open this up and see what we have inside. Yay, I have no idea why I did that. I just felt like doing it. Oh, these things love to get stuck, don't they? There we go. Come on out of there, you. Since this is a Studio Series action figure review, you know exactly what we have to go through. Yes! I cannot whistle today. Alright, so here is KSI Sentry drone in its vehicle form, which the vehicle form, the name slips my tongue, but I'm going to try and give it an effort here. A Pagani Hirahara. Somebody help me, please. Anyway, it's a very nice looking vehicle form, and yes, you are not mistaken. We have seen this before already in the Studio Series under the name of Stinger. That's right. The exact same vehicle, the exact same mold, just different heads and a different paint job. It's not a metallic blue, but it does give off quite a shimmer that it does kind of reflect like metallic work, but it's not. I don't want to say navy blue, even though it is darker than what the camera is actually making it out to be. The vehicle form does roll pretty well. As you can see, everything has been stripped out from the saw blades that came with Stinger here, and that's a bit unfortunate because those are actually pretty nice. But it does give the overall profile a much more realism. You're not going to be seeing anybody driving down the street with that on the side. Now, I have heard stories in the past that with Stinger, some people have actually acquired one that only has one side view mirror, but I'm very happy to announce that I have both of a very first release that does not have that problem. But you will also notice that the right side view mirror is actually a little warped. I am going to have to use a blow dryer on that. Let's talk about the colors. Once again, we got that very nice blue, and then we got some black here. We got some black at the top, and then we got clear windows, which kind of gives away the Robots in Disguise feature. It's the point where I actually believe they should have tinted the windows on KSI Sentry just like they did with Stinger, because again, realism I'm talking here. Put as much effort as you canon to the Studio Series is all I'm asking here, Hasbro. So we do have some silver for the headlights here, which are nicely painted, no sloppiness. Though I do miss the Decepticon logo that would have been right here. Though the top on mine actually wants to keep popping up. It might be warped, so I might have to take a blow dryer to that as well. So once again, we got some very nice details here for the grill. Sadly though, we don't have the Bacani logo that would be right here. And it just hit me that this is not officially licensed. Dang it. Alright, so you pretty much got the whole song and dance out of this vehicle form, so let's do some comparisons. So let's dare to compare with Mole counterpart Stinger, obviously. Here it is with Shadow Raider, which is a repaint of Lockdown. And here it is with the Camaro Bumblebee. Of course, KSI Sentry isn't without any weapons. He does come with one, and it's a very nice looking blade here that can attach obviously to the vehicle via this peg right here at the back. Go ahead and pop this in here, so we can give him a very nice looking spoiler of murder death. It definitely takes away the feature of being a robot in disguise, but I can't help it. It is a guilty pleasure to actually see this blasted thing on here. Kind of makes me jealous. Kind of wish my car actually had something like this for a spoiler. Perhaps then maybe the deers would try to avoid me on the highway. But the sad part about this weapon here is that there doesn't seem to be anywhere else to store it in vehicle form. Alright, so I was contemplating whether or not to actually do the transformation of this figure, because I've already done it before with Stinger and it's really as identical as they come. But I'm gonna do it one more time anyway, because if I don't, I kind of feel like I'm going to disappoint someone out there. So let's go ahead and do this. So what I like to do to start off the transformation is I like to go ahead and unclip the front section. If I had fingernails, this would be a lot easier. Swing them out as far back as they can go, just so they're out of the way. Untab the top of the car, like so. Bring it all the way around. Gonna untab the left arm and swing it down. Come underneath so you can see this, and we're gonna swing down the other elbow. Lift up his head. Go ahead and rotate it around. Just like that. And then we're going to bring up the shoulders. That way, all the top section of the robot mode is out of the way. Next, what we want to do is we want to unpeg the legs. Untab these rear section of the car. That should allow you to rotate these back now. Come to the feet and flip them out. Just like this. And then bring down the rear of the car to create the back of his legs and heel spurs. Actually, he does have heel spurs, so I guess this is support. Go ahead and push down on this piece here. Fold down the top section of the car and it should clip into place. Swing this bit down. At the shoulder here, we're going to fold this arm up so we can get some clearance to rotate this top section around. Go ahead and swing back the pecs of the robot mode. Line everything up and bring down the head. If aligned properly, this groove is going to rest on top of the tire like so. Rotate down the shoulders. Repeat on this side here. Swing up this car section. On the double hinge, we'll bring it down. And on this hinge here, we're going to fold it in just like this to create his shoulders. Repeat the same thing on this side here. Swing this up. Swing this back. And swing it forward. Take the top of the car and fold it in on a hinge. Fold this out like so. Go ahead and rotate this back section like this and then bring it up all the way. Bring them out just a little bit. Readjust the figure to your liking. And here we have KSI Sentry in his robot mode. And once again, it's just Stinger in blue with a brand new head sculpt. And notice that I ain't got this completely transformed right. As you can see, we got all this panel work here, very nicely engineered detail all around on the figure. Some very good paint work, no sloppiness whatsoever, from the bottom all the way to the top. Even to the back of the figure looks pretty clean. I'm not seeing any issues whatsoever. Take a look at that brand new head sculpt, and you can definitely tell that this is a drone in fact. It is not Stinger. And the best part about it is it's clear plastic, which means it does feature quite the light piping as well. But not to spoil your fun, but that's really it when it comes to new things about this figure. Just a paint job and that very awesome head sculpt. So taking his weapon here, which he comes with, and the only way to really attach this thing is, well, actually, I didn't read up on it. You gotta bring this out, and supposed to, like, tab in right here somewhere. I don't get it. Like, the instructions aren't clear about this here. I really don't get this. So in order to attach his weapon to his cannon, there's these two tabs right here where I'm pointing at, and there's two slots on the side here and here. What you want to do is start off with the one at the very end here. Get this to peg in like so. And then you're going to swing this bit around, and then it's going to come right off, of course. So let's go ahead and tab in this section here, which is the very end of the hood of the car. That's not working. Ah, stop fighting me. So what we need to do is tab in this slot right here. Then we can swing this around. And hopefully if this is lined up all the way, which it isn't, man, this just does not want to work. Okay, so I can't get it. I've tried. Like, I've been at this for 5 minutes and it's driving me insane. So what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to try the opposite way of the instructions telling me how to do it. I'll start on this end. Hopefully, if I can keep this in place here, maybe I can get the other end to tab in. Somehow, some way, by the force of God or something. Come on now. Get it! Yay! So finally, after all that fighting, I got the weapon applied to his cannon, and it does make it look awesome. It's definitely a changer that is needed. This really does add a little bit more to the value on this figure and makes it worth the pickup. It's a very cool weapon. I like the way this turned out. It's very amazing. It's also made of some soft plastic here, so you don't have to worry about it breaking like certain NECA weapons. So let's go ahead and get through it already. He does have a ball jointed head, which is pretty tight. If you want to count this as articulation, you can as well. The shoulders are ball jointed, though they're really stiff on my figure. They really don't want to budge at all. And that's what's making some of the transformation on this figure quite difficult, at least for me. Your results could be different. We do have a swivel cut around the elbow section since the figure doesn't have a bicep swivel. But we do have ratcheting elbows, which is very nice, but you can only get 9 degrees of bend on a single joint. Nothing at the wrist, nothing at the waist due to transformation. The legs are ball jointed, so you can get this much kicking forward, that much going back, which is nice. And overall, the figure can pull off a very nice JCVD split, so there's your still quality, people. Enjoy it. We have a 5 swivel cut at the hips, single jointed knees that does get 9 degrees of bend, and we got a hinge joint at the toe, which means it just goes up and down and no ankle rocker pivot. So let's go ahead and do some size comparison. So we're going to dare to compare with the obvious. KSI Sentry compared to Stinger. Here's KSI Sentry with Shadow Raider. And finally, here's KSI Sentry compared to Camaro Bumblebee. So pretty much this figure is about your standard deluxe size when it comes to the Studio Series. So the last thing we need to take a look at in the video is the backdrop that is featured with this Studio Series action figure. And once again, it is the Hong Kong Pursuit that has come with a few figures out of the Studio Series line, so nothing really to brag about, basically. The only real difference is basically the number here, indicating that this is in fact KSI Sentry's and no one else. And the cardboard is pretty sturdy. It's not flimsy like it was for Crowbar, so it stands up on its own very much. So let's go ahead and put the figure on it and see what he looks like. Not much to really say about it. I mean, it is what it is. At least the figure's standing on it just fine. But his feet are actually at the very edge here, so they are actually leaning a bit over. You can't put this figure in any other poses because, you know, the backdrop's so small it won't allow it. If you got Stinger, you're really not getting anything new here outside of the weapon and the head sculpt. You're missing the saw blades, unfortunately, so those back wing bits here really are an eyesore. I wish that Hasbro had just removed those. I'm sure I could remove them myself by just taking out the pin, but I don't want to do that because it will hurt the value of the figure, and it's an important part about the figure, you know, being complete. If I have to give some good points about the figure outside of the new accessories that he has, I think the joints are much tighter on this figure compared to Stinger. Stinger has a little bit of some loose hips. This figure does not. The one thing that scares me are how tight his shoulder joints are. This overall is fighting against me, especially when it comes to transforming this figure. There are certain things I can't get right because the arms just keep getting in the way because I can't move them in the direction I want them to. It's something that I need to work with here, and I'm sure they'll loosen up over time as long as I'm careful with the figure. But regardless, yeah, I think he's worth picking up, but again, it's up to you, so decide with your wallet and let me know whether or not you got this figure and what you think about him, because I'm sure I ain't the only one. Anyway, questions or comments, you know to do. Hit it down below in the comment section of the video. If you like today's video review, hit the thumbs up button. Don't forget to give me a sub up. If you didn't like it, hit the thumbs down. Don't forget to throw in the towel. And until then, my friends, this is the unprofessional toy reviewer Hasbro signing off by saying, when the opportunity persists, don't give up on your dreams. Seize the moment. Thank you for watching.